Welcome to Blitz Interviews. Like the game of chess, it's only lasts 10 minutes. I have a pleasure to talk to Jaime today about digital identity. Jaime, can you please tell me about yourself and what does digital identity mean?
Yes, of course. Thank you. My name is Jaime Ramirez. I'm the founder and CEO of Preventor. I've been in the arena of digital identity for the last few years, quite a few years. Digital identity right now is a need. It's not anymore a wish. Most of the businesses are using it to identify the person or the potential customer or their own customers over the internet. No?
So is my LinkedIn login, is my digital identity, or my Google login, or my Facebook login?
That's not a digital identity. That's your digital credentials, could say. You know, like, but the digital identity means that a document that you identify, a government issue ID, and then how do you verify your identity, your person with the document? So you are a legitimate person.
So if I'm opening an online bank, and we talk a lot about open banking, for example, in the past, I need to email a void check. I need to prove who I am. Right now, I take a picture of my driving license back and forth, upload a document, and in a matter of 15 minutes, I can be identified, correct?
Yeah, it depends on the use case and the industry and the levels of verification. But you're right. The first level is to identify who you are, the name of you, the person that you say that you are, with the document and the selfie, which it takes 60 seconds. Huh? And then after, it depends on the use case and the scenario. For example, you mentioned opening an account in the bank. Probably to open an account in the bank, the first step is to verify yourself with your identity, and then after, you may need to do some kind of electronic signatures or anything over the internet, but it's more steps, but in the same process, remotely and digitally.
So what is important to know about digital identity? Because there's a lot of fraud happening, a lot of information I need to know as well.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's a must right now for businesses because most of the businesses are doing that right now remotely. So you don't have a way to know if the driver license or the passport or the national ID is legitimate. And even in the past, it was very difficult for that too, because if you go with a fake ID to do any services, the person that received the fake ID probably will notice anything. So right now it's more secure than before. And that will give you, for when you open your business on the online, it will give you more less risk that the person is doing the fraud.
How would it change when we have more VR, AR? For the last couple of weeks, we hear a lot about Meta and virtual reality. How would I prove my identity there?
That's a very good question. I mean, I also heard about that there is also real estate or virtual reality already. So I will think that the digital identity will be an important role in that, because I think that just to go in, first of all, for example, could be a good way to identify who you are. If you want to go into the virtual reality, either whatever it is a game, it's anything, just to get in, you need to have an identity that could be masked with an alias, after. So that not necessarily you want to expose your name to all of them. It could be an alias, but behind the alias is a real person, real identity that later on, if something is wrong, it can be verified.
What would you recommend to people to be aware, to know, to be cautious or not to be cautious?
Well, we are in the stage right now that most of the digital identity is B2B for now. No, the business are the ones that are taking care of this in order to prevent fraud with their customers. So businesses will need to know that if they want to do business online, they will need to have all these preventions in place. Now, later on, it will be something that maybe the customers also will need to have some kind of an app to prevent the identity theft. No?
Okay. Now, because of us working remotely or not going to office, a lot of places also starting to do online exams, online interviews. Correct. Where I also need to prove that Evgeny is Evgeny, Jamie is Jamie. Is this the same digital identity or something else?
Exactly the same. Like I said, the digital identity applies to multiple use cases for everything. The use cases that you mentioned, they're perfect for this. Even for those cases, for example, interviews or take a test, is obviously remote, but even present. You know, people in the universities are going to the exams, and sometimes, you know, the person that is doing the exam physically is not the person, you know, not the student. So you need to prove who are entering into the room by doing that some kind of face recognition or authentication.
So what do you think is a bit concern me as a cybersecurity professional? Because I can go and do an exam for whatever it is with a company. They will now have a copy of my driving license or my passport on whatever it is they're going to provide to them. What does it do with it? I'm a bit concerned because if somebody steals information, they can now impersonate me.
Well, that's exactly right. That's why the biometric authentication is the way to do it, because it's not a, yeah, you're right. That someone can install your document and they can use it in another place. But the identity verification or biometric identity verification is exactly to prevent that the document is not altered, the document is legitimate, and the person that is holding the document is the person in the photo of the document. Yeah, no. So we do a lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence mechanisms, verifications to prevent that. Yeah.
Is there any standards for the companies how to save such information, or maybe they just verify the information and never save it?
Well, for GDPR, for privacy, there is some standards, yes. That information needs to be stored in an anonymous way, and then it has to be, it belongs to the end user. No, it can be deleted at any point.
But do you even need to say this information? If I prove I'm who I am, why do you need someone to say if I did an exam for Cisco, why the company need to save my license driver for future?
They won't. You know, it depends on the use case. It depends on the industry. How do you? Why do you use the information and what the purpose? Right? It doesn't apply to all of the industries and use cases in the same way.
If you have a crystal ball, what do you think will happen with digital identity in 5 years?
I will say that we are in the beginning of this. I mean, this is more businesses are digitalizing everything, and then right now is like the starting, like doing the onboarding, digitalizing individuals, people. Then it will become that you're gonna do the onboarding or the verification of businesses out remotely, completely. Then the own people will have their own digital identity, and those are the ones that are going to share with the businesses. Not anymore the business are asking the verification to the user, is the user sharing with the businesses, things like that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you are the owner of your identity, and then you need to have it, and then you need to have it needs to be portable. No?
Jamie, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Okay, thank you.